I wanna talk to you about the dark night of the soul. The dark night of the soul. This is something that a lot of persons in the world of esoteric spirituality, they don't like to really talk about. And if they are blunt, if they're brutally honest, they will tell you that they themselves went through a dark night of the soul. Here it is. What is the dark night of the soul? In my best words, the best way that I can say, or the best way that I can describe it, is like this. When you come to that place of spiritual awakening, when you have that spark that goes off inside of you, that wakes you up to the fact that you are actually living in a matrix and you're living in something that is beyond normal conceptualization. What normally happens is you go through an initial period of an upward climb, and then all of a sudden it is as if your spirit, it is as if the world just simply starts to fall apart around you, in terms of your relationships, in terms of finances, in terms of your health. All of these things, all of a sudden, they just seem to start breaking down. And for a period of time, it seems as though nothing can go right for you. And this whole entire period is what is known as the dark night of the soul. It is during this period that you find yourself almost living as though you're in a cave. And it is in this phase, and it is in this period where you find yourself moving in a realm where you feel as though you're operating in a complete different frequency from everything and everyone around you. Persons you would have been friends with for years and decades even would have fallen away or fallen aside, or some circumstance or situation would have caused separation. Another thing with the dark night of the soul, if before that period, if your finances was going smooth and going good, all of a sudden your finances just simply goes in the crapper. Everything just goes haywire. And you wonder, what did you do? What did you do? And it is during this period, and I must say that this period in itself can last anywhere from days to months to even years. My experience personally, what I went through in my dark night of the soul, it literally lasted, I would say, 20 years. 20 years is what I would call my wilderness experience. 20 years is what I would call my prison experience. 20 years is what I would call my pit experience. It is in this place of this dark night that your soul begins to go through a transformation. The best way that I can describe the dark night of the soul is when you become awake with the first set of downloads and information and revelations. What happens next is a cocoon begins to build around you mentally, spiritually, intellectually, and physically, and energetically and vibrationally. And in the midst, this is the phase of the caterpillar going into this cocoon now before it comes into the butterfly stage. So what you have is a situation whereby you are in this cocoon spiritually, you are in this cocoon, your soul, and what is happening is all around you is change is happening, and all around you evolution is happening, and the world that you once knew changes. The people around you change, circumstances around you change, and all of a sudden you feel like a stranger in your own land. You feel like a stranger even in your own skin. So what do you do in the midst of going through this dark night of the soul? Because that is the most important thing. Because it is during this dark night of the soul that you have individuals who would end up having mental breakdowns or major psychosis. It is through this dark night of the soul you will have individuals who will find themselves just simply a mental and spiritual wreck, because Really and truly, the spiritual path is not for the weak-willed, and it is not for the weak-minded. I see all of these people out here on YouTube putting up these videos about all of these different spiritual practices. What they're not telling people is a lot of these things have to have a process and protocols that should be followed. And what is happening is, in doing things, whether it be it Kundalini awakening or whether it be it just simply opening the third eye, whatever the practice is, a lot of persons are finding themselves in problems when they get to these things. And it is really sad, but in the same breath it is avoidable, because here it is, you're basically going on to the University of YouTube and trying to find answers, when really you should find somebody who has been dealing with these things for a very long period of time. Someone telling you that they have achieved spiritual enlightenment, or they have opened up their third eye. Them telling you this and them bringing you to that point should let you know that the reality is one whereby you have to use your sense of discernment. You have to be able to instill habits and practices like meditation, like prayer, like sun gazing and things of this nature in order to make it through this dark night of the soul. The reality is it's not going to be easy. It's going to be a rough path to make it through this dark night of the soul. So you have to make up in your mind whether you're going to have a strong will, whether you're going to have a strong mind, whether you're going to have a strong inner spirit, an inner fire that simply will not die out. And that is the key to making it through your dark night of the soul. There are going to be minutes, there are going to be times you want to give up, there are going to be times when you really feel hopeless, you're going to feel depressed, you're just going to feel like shit. That's the best way that I can put it. But to get around that, just simply continue doing the good things that are going to increase your vibration and increase your frequency, and you will be able to make it through the dark night of the soul. This is your man of business, Doc, saying thank you for tuning in to this video. Like and subscribe down below, and check out our store, innercreed.com, where you can get some nice spiritual merchandise over there. And until next video, thanks for joining in.